We now return to America's Next Top Network Remaining Broadcasting Soap Opera with your host, Tyrone Banks. I've got 4 soaps standing before me, but only 3 of you will go on towards becoming America's Next Top Remaining Network Broadcasting Soap Opera. The first soap I'm going to call was Best Soap of the Week. The Young and the Restless, congratulations. Every single week, YNR, you somehow managed to be in the #1 spot, and we've been wondering this for at least the past 10 years, how this is still possible. And we have no idea. We can't help but think you own half the soap world. We know I think it's Sony owns 1% or CBS owns 1% of days, it's something like that, which we believe helps give you a monopoly in the soap world. Even though the storylines are incredibly slow and they're not really that interesting. Congratulations. You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Remaining Network Broadcasting Soap Opera. The next soap I'm going to call is The Bold and the Beautiful. Congratulations. B&B, the only reason why you're in the #2 spot is because you have international money and you're broadcasting in over 70 countries, which gives you an unfair advantage over the rest of the soaps. Truth be told, you give us the same tired storylines year after year, but you repackage them in a different way. Congratulations. You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Remaining Network of Broadcasting Soap Opera. I've got 2 soaps standing before me, but only one of you will continue on towards becoming America's Next Top Network Remaining Broadcasting Soap Opera. I want to first start off with General Hospital. You started off strong during the Bob Guzzi days, even during the Luke and Laura days, but lately you seem to manage to conjure up 18,000 different storylines, all of which have no conclusion. Me and the judges wonder and worry if you're still relying off of the legacy of Luke and Laura to still help you out. Then there's Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives, you managed to write compelling storylines, diverse characters. I hate to say it, but for the first time in watching soaps, I'm actually invested in more than 95% of the storylines on canvas, which is a rarity. It's amazing how you did that. I knew when Carlotta came on in 2017, he was gonna take over, and he was gonna bring the show to new heights. Only problem is, me and the judges wonder if it's just a little, too late. So who stays? And who goes? General Hospital, congratulations. You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Network Remaining Broadcasting Soap Opera. Hey guys, it's DC and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary where all soap lovers are welcome, guys. This is my Days of Our Lives week in review. It's a homegoing. It's funny because I already did a Days review this week, but I want to finish out the week. This is our final week on network television, guys. Look, guys, someone had like the skit. You know, I like to be corny and have fun out here, guys. There ain't nothing serious. I ain't trying to be no actor or nothing. But if you know somebody, I'm just playing. It's a homegoing. That's what I'm calling it, which is very eerie that I gave it that title given what I mentioned in my last day's video, my personal life. But yeah, anyways, let's move on. So, This week in days, like I said before, you guys, I won't go. I won't repeat too much what I said in the last video because I really want to focus now towards the end of this week of days. What happened? The first I want to talk about just days going to Peacock. This was obviously 2 years in the making, guys. With Peacock and Beyond Salem, obviously they said, okay, we'll do the Peacock, we'll do the Beyond Salem first year free. Next year, we'll make them pay for it. And now we're going off there. And I think they were doing this before they went off the air to give themselves time. You know, before their contract with NBC expired. Because a lot of times, like they were saying, Abraham Hicks, you want to get out ahead of it. You want to get out ahead of things. You get out ahead of things, you're in control. So that was it was a smart move on their part to do it, honestly. It seemed like the writing was on the wall. So it's like, let's just do it. Let's not wait like guiding light and see how much longer we can keep like running this thing on out. Let's just make an executive decision and just leave the network television out on our own terms. So I respect that. I totally respect that. Based off the previews, which they were pretty good for the Peacock, I believe that Kayla would encounter Bo in heaven, and her mentioning, oh, Dad, Pa, Grandpa Sean. That's just a red herring. I think that's just a red herring, and she's going to actually encounter Bo in heaven. Because I know they're not showing everything in their previews. They're not going to show everything, which makes sense. The possible car going off the bridge. We haven't seen stuff like that in soaps in so long. Those little cliffhangers, those little high-stake moments, as I always like to say. We haven't seen those in a long time, so I'm really hoping they're going to bring that back. I know the dialogue is going to be different because I feel like when they're on network television, there is a limit that they have, whereas on Peacock, certain limits are no longer there. They can do a little bit more. It can be a little more edgy, a little more racier. And that's why I think Beyond Salem was acknowledged in the daytime Emmys as the same category as all the other soaps because Days is going digital. They probably have their insider talks, And so that way Days can stay in that category even next year for the Emmys. All right, let's talk about Paulina running for governor. They're trying to get Jack K for as much as they can, for as long as they got her for it, which I think is a good utilization, unlike when GH did that with Kim Delaney. Kim Delaney, who played Jackie Templeton on GH, which it's weird because they have Gregory on the show, but not Kim Delaney. Like, it's just, I don't care about Gregory. I'm not trying to, I don't care about his character. It's pointless. Let's move on. Let's just move on. All right. Now, here's the thing with Paulina running for governor. Considering her Pricetown incident and the fact that Lonnie, her daughter, shot her ex-husband in supposed cold blood, which I don't know how that was the case, and her ex-son-in-law was possessed by the devil, I'm really honestly surprised that through Stephanie's poll, people thought that Paulina Price was a good candidate for governor, or even Abe for that matter, to be honest. Not so much of them, but just like the stuff going on in their lives. But, I guess in a way, you shouldn't penalize people for stuff they got going on in life because you can't control your family members. You can't control what they do. You really can't. And that shouldn't be a reflection on you. It shouldn't. We're not like in the 1500s or anything where what you did put a whole stay in the family name. Like I think people in society have realized we're all individuals at this point, And I believe her run for governor will be expanded even more on Peacock. I think they will expand the storyline. Obviously, they're saving all this stuff for Peacock. They're saving to put all this meaty stuff on Peacock because the good thing is I already canceled my subscription on Peacock after Beyond Salem. I think it got canceled in August, so I'm getting that $1.99. And for those of you who haven't gotten it, you could just easily cancel your subscription that you're paying per month and then just make a new email address and just get this new subscription. Come on. Y'all got to think. Y'all got to think now. Come on. All right, next, let's talk about Kristen, Chloe, and Brady. I haven't really talked too much about them, but now I want to. I am Team Kristen in this. I am Team Kristen. Let me tell you why I'm Team Kristen, because she's only in this situation because of Brady. She only went to jail because of Brady. Well, Brady's grandfather, Victor Kiriakis. And this was over the fact that she thought she had lost Rachel. She was in grief. I don't know how Brady doesn't see that. So when Chloe's like, yeah, we need to keep Rachel away from Kristen DiMera, I was honestly a little disgusted because I feel like, Chloe, you're a mother. Like, how do you feel like that's okay to take another woman's child from her? Like, how do you feel like that's okay? How do you feel like that's okay? And you know who Kristen DiMera is. She will come after you. She's not going to leave us alone. Like, you're not thinking. And Brady has a past, too. There was a reason at one point in time you came back to Salem, I think it was in 2006, 2007, and you had divorced Brady because he had a huge drug addiction that had overtaken your lives off screen. Come on. And you're going to try to take Kristen's child from her? this is my whole thing with the I Had a Baby with Daniel Jonas fan club that Chloe and Nicole are part of. They seem to forget all the things that they've done. They seem to forget all these things they've done. And for me personally, I feel like Kristen deserves to be around her daughter. And you know the thing about it is that it's interesting looking at Stacey Hyduck's Kristen and Eileen Davidson's Kristen. They're like two different Kristens almost. Well, yeah, they are. I mean, Eileen Davidson's Kristen obviously had more chemistry with Drake Hogestyn, John Black, and they play off of that history whenever she's on screen. Whereas Stacey Hyduck's Kristen, I feel like, is like, she's still powerful, she's in control, but there's a vulnerability that's there that's expressed through the writing with Stacey Hyduck's Kristen. That I don't think we got a lot from Eileen Davidson's Kristen. Eileen Davidson's Kristen, there was a vulnerability, but it was always like, I'm here to make people's lives hell, and I'm going to show I'm in control no matter what. Where this Kristen, Stacey Hyduck's Kristen, it's just different. Like, she's still that same Kristen, obviously, but it's just like there's more of a vulnerability there. Like, there's a reason why I'm doing all this. It's just like on B&B where it's like the Logans are so shocked that Thomas wants to spend time with his child or have custody of his child. That's his son. Why is that such a shocker? That doesn't make any sense. So for me, I'm Team Kristen on that. I'm really Team Kristen on that. I want to talk about probably was one of the biggest storylines this week, besides Sonny getting stabbed earlier this week, but was Jake's memorial. It was a little weird that Chad, You Killed My Wife, Demira was not at the memorial, or Kristen, given that Johnny didn't place a call to them. That was a little weird for me that they weren't there. But I get it. It's like call sheet stuff and stuff like that in the day. So they need to only have people who are really relevant to the storyline. I get it. You can't have like too much going on. I get it. The Demiras to me are just they're so fake. They're so fake. They don't give a damn about Jake. Even Tony's like, we've got here today for Jake. And I'm like, y'all don't give a damn about this man. Y'all don't give a damn about him, all right? They are so fake. But that was sweet of Johnny to do that for Ava. I thought that was pretty nice. And then the whole thing with the Jake and Stephen thing, and I mentioned this before in the past video, it's obviously that the actor who plays Jake and Stephen, Brandon Barash, he got tired of playing Jake. I mean, honestly, the writers wrote Jake into a corner. There wasn't really much they could do with Jake, honestly. Jake was slowly becoming a character that was just there. Kind of like a certain character on Canvas. I'm not going to say no names because I really don't like to talk about actors and actresses, but this actor on the show, like, I don't know what it is. I never want to say somebody can't act or nothing, but when they're in the scene, I don't feel anything. And they've been on the show since I started watching back in 2006, and now I see they're trying to give them a storyline. It's not working for me with this particular actor. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. I don't want to say the name, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. They're really connected. They're related to a lot of people on Canvas, but it's just like when they're in a scene, it just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't really do it for me when they're in a scene, honestly. I don't even say who this actor is on days, but I've been noticing that they've been in the background for like years on the show, literally. But they're back every single year, and they're just there to give like advice or something, like Sharon does at the coffee shop in Young and the Restless. I think you guys can get the gist of what I'm talking about. I don't want to say no names. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. It just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it for me. But anyways, Brandon Barash is back now, Stephen, and I get it because Stephen, there's more they could do with Stephen's character than they could Jake. And another thing too, like with Mr. Lee Shin, the one that Gabby's with, not Mr. Shin, the father, but the son. When he first came on, I think it was like 7 or 8 months ago, maybe even a year ago when I first saw him on Days, I was like, that guy's got something. They need to put him on this show. Like, they need to expand his role. He's got something. There's some people on social media, you see them like, oh, they got something. Like Sloane, she's got something. She's got something. You know what I mean? She's just got something. Keep her on. She's got something. And the fact they've expanded Lee's role on the show, I thought was brilliant. It was brilliant, honestly. Because I always felt like he's easy on the eyes too, but it's like, I felt like there's something he just had. Because listen, there was a time with soaps where soaps were broadcasted live. And because they were broadcasted live, they were able to make changes as soon as the next day, right? So if something wasn't working in a storyline, or maybe through the grapevine, because there wasn't no social media back then, but through the grapevine, they felt like something was working, or the actors actually said, hey, I don't want to do this. They were able to switch that out by the next day. By the next day, they were able to switch that out. And that was pretty powerful. Whereas now, stuff is written like 6 months in advance. So, which I understand is good, but I wonder if things were like that, how would soaps really be? But then again, the problem that could also cause is, let's say if an actor or actress gets fired and they don't want to finish out their contract because they're upset, they get killed off or in a coma. And I know in Hollywood, if you get killed off and you don't play that scene, that's it. That is the quickest way to get blackballed. That's what I've heard. And so I don't know if the soaps are still live today. If someone got fired on a soap, they want to send a message to the network, because let's say they're in a coma one day, right? Or their character gets killed, the next day got to be in a coma, and they don't show up, how are they going to explain that part of the storyline? Because that's why in soaps you would hear the announcer go, today the role of so-and-so is now being played by blah, 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 blah. Because that was the thing they did when they were live on TV back in the 50s, right? They had to explain why there was a change like that, or who that person is supposed to be, because there wasn't captions or those kind of things, back then. So that was why they had those things from back in the day. But this show on Days, I don't know, the changes that Days is clearly listening to the fans, which I feel like you have to discern what you should listen to, what you shouldn't listen to. But they are clearly listening to us. I mean, look at these couples. Days got the best couples out of all the soaps. Like, all these couples are like on fire. Like, you feel it. Like, you feel that love in the afternoon. You feel that chemistry, right? With the exception of Paul and Andrew on Beyonce Lim. I don't know what that was. There was no chemistry between them. I don't know if they said, okay, you'll kiss the guy on camera. Okay, great. We're going to put you together here. That didn't work. There was no chemistry there with that couple. None. None. There was no chemistry. Now, I heard some TV shows that they do is that they'll have the cast, like How to Get Away with Murder. I know on How to Get Away with Murder, they had all the Keating Five all meet each other prior to filming, so that the chemistry really translated on screen. Because those things, you can feel it on screen. You can really feel it on screen. Like when Jason and Britt on GH, you felt that chemistry on screen. It felt real. Her and Cody, it's not doing it. It's not doing it. The chemistry is just not there. It's not really there, Like, okay, if you look at these couples, I'm going to name all these Days couples that just have, to me, the best chemistry. John and Marlena, for one. Enough said on that one, right? Will and Sonny, right? Alex and Stephanie. I can even feel the chemistry there. Robert Scott Wilson, I feel like he can have chemistry, honestly, with like a fork, like, I don't know, a spoon. Like, that man just got it, Allie and Chanel. I feel like they've got that chemistry. Johnny and Ava. I know a lot of y'all don't like Johnny and Ava, but I am here for it. I am here for it. You know what I think is going to happen? There's going to be a love triangle between Ava, Johnny, and EJ. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm here for Johnny and Ava. Y'all feel grossed out? I don't know why. I don't feel grossed out with those two. I was like, ooh, this is good. Every time I watch on script, I was like, ooh, this is good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Eli and Lonnie. Another one. Erica, Nicole, Gabby and Stefan, and then Gabby and Lee. And all these couples that I mentioned, in my opinion, they actually have really unique storylines. Like, even how Gabby is a widow of Stefan now, it's totally given Vicki Davidson vibes on One Life to Live. You know how Vicki was Ben's widow and she received his heart. Kind of similar to Gabby and Stefan, right? Gabby mourned him. Now, granted, Julie received Stefan's heart. Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Because a lot of times on soaps, we don't really, when someone mourns someone on soap, they're not really like a widow. Like, they really played this widow thing with Gabby for years on the show. Which, the last one I felt like a soap emphasized how much someone was a widow, in my opinion, was Vicki and Ben on One Life to Live. Like, of course, people had spouses who died and came back from the dead, but like, you really saw that the tough transition they went through for such a long time. And my guess is maybe Chad and Abigail will be next. I don't know, but that's just what I've seen. I mean, Gabby and Lee, they're business partners. To me, there was something dynamic about them, or the chemistry was just so raw and real. And that's the thing with Days. I feel like Carvelotti just not just casting for diversity purposes. Everybody has to have a purpose on this canvas. Everybody has to have a purpose. We're on GH. A lot of things to me right now just don't have a purpose. I don't really understand what they're doing here. Even with Leo Stark, like, it was a little cartoonish in the beginning, but now it's like we're getting some true authenticity with Leo. And Greg Ricard, I don't want to say Leo Stark is his best role, because his best role is still Kevin Fisher on Young Restless back in the early 2000s, when he was the creepy child predator online that Lily went to go meet, and they totally refurbished his character after that, which would not work in today's society. Yeah, there's a lot of that on soaps. But it was real. It was real. Say what you want. It was real. It was real. Stacey Hyduck, I think Kristen is probably her best role. She played the prison guard on Days, I'd someone say almost a decade ago. She was Hannah on All My Children, and she was Mary Jane Benton / Patty Williams on The Young and the Restless, which that was, I think, another one. I think I would add that in too with Stacey Hyduck. That was one of her best roles. Honestly, Katie McLean, she kills everything she's in. She kills just about everything. But Days just knows how to do really good writing. And like I said, I knew when Carvelotti came on, the show was going to be taking a new heights because that's just what he does. That's what Carvelotti does. So, I don't know what they're doing over at GH. I don't know. I think they're sleeping. And it's okay. Everybody needs to sleep from time to time. But Days, to me, has just been a really good show. And Johnny and Ava, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm okay if they even get married. I'm okay with it. I know the other thing, like, what, DC, what? Maybe because Tamara Braun really does not, to me, seem that much more older than the actor who plays Johnny. Like, maybe I could, there's clearly an age difference, but it's not like she's like a Marion Colby and Tad. Because Marion Colby's like a grandmother, practically. That was disturbing for me when Marion Colby got with Tad. That was disturbing for me. That was disturbing. And maybe that's just what it is. It's like the optics of it. Like, do they look older? Because even sometimes, when it comes to May-December relationships, which if any of you guys not familiar with that terms, it means when someone older, May, dates someone who's younger, December, right? May-December relationships. A lot of times I wonder, is it really the optics of it that we're really bothered with, right? Like if someone looks a lot older, do you feel weird, right? I had to ask myself that question. I'm not in a relationship, but I'm saying like even prior to that, I asked myself a question like, would I have an issue dating someone who's a lot older? Like, is it really the society part of it that bothers me? Like, because society expects me to have an issue with it, or do I really have a problem with it? And what if they didn't look older? What if they look the same age as me? Would I have a problem with that? It's a question, right? So, that's the question I ask myself. A lot of times, like in life, and honestly, there's a lot of things with life. This I ask myself a question: do I really have an issue with this, or does the outside world have an issue with this? Right? To make sure I don't let that become my stuff. I don't take on the stuff of the world or society out there. Is that my issue? Is that their issue? That's why a lot of times when things come out in the media, like we've had a lot of news come on this week, certain celebrities, certain monarchies. I wait at least a year or two, not a year or two. I wait about like say a month or two until every news comes out, and I see what my opinion is. Like, but anyway, Johnny and Ava, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for Johnny and Ava. Days has just been a really good show, and let's see what they bring. Let's see what they bring next week. By the way, I hope you guys like the skit, America's Next Top Network Remaining Broadcasting Soap Opera. It was something cool. I was like, I'm just gonna do a sit. It was 3 minutes. If you sat there for those 3 minutes, I salute you. It's just something a little corny I do. I like to have fun on here. You gotta have a little fun. You know what's funny? Because years ago when I was in high school, my friends and I watched soap operas and they used to tease me for it all the time, right? And we would actually film little like ridiculous YouTube, like little ridiculous soap skits with each other, and we would put them on MySpace back then. That was when it was on MySpace. What y'all know about MySpace? What y'all know about that? What y'all know about MySpace? You know, you had to have a little profile decked out, and you thought you were so cool. You wanted everybody to see, you know, ooh, I got a new profile song. My profile's updated. Ooh, you know, you had little codes and stuff. But anyways, we did that back in the day. And that sounds like, man, if I have my soap channel, I want to do little corny skits. I want to have fun with this channel. I want this channel to be everything I would want it to be. So, you know, and I'm happy for the opportunities I've had, the interviews with Fido Xavier, JLJ Media, with Albert, and other surprises coming his way. I'm really grateful for that. This channel, to me, it's work, obviously, when I have to like produce these videos, but it's not work for me at the same time. It's really actually fun. And I enjoy reading the comments. Some are a little crazy and I can't respond to none of them. Some of y'all get a little crazy in the comments. Y'all get a little buck wild for me. And I can't do it. But for the most part, I have honestly a really good time with this channel. I have a lot of fun. So I am just excited to just, you know, keep putting out more videos, you guys, more reviews, more skits. Like I said, I love it. And the thing about it is that it's been easier for me to be consistent telling you guys I want to be on a week and off a week. Like, it's just easier for me that way. Because I know when people go to YouTube channels, the first thing that they look for is consistency. How consistent is someone? Is this someone I should be worth subscribing to? You know? I don't know. I just have fun with it, you know? Have fun doing a little intro. You gotta have fun with it. You gotta have fun with it. You know what I mean? You gotta have fun. Even if there's been a lot of stuff going on in my life. Like, it's been like crap coming from everywhere, I feel like. But when I do this channel, I'm like, man, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I feel like this is always a safe space for me. Probably because I've given no other choice but to be one for me. So I'm very grateful for this channel, guys. I'm grateful for my subscribers. I'm grateful for the support. I mean, even seeing Brock TV shout me out, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, you never despite the day of small blessings, you know? I remember watching Brock TV in my dorm back in 2012, right? When I used to watch GH. Mainly, I was looking for the GH episode on bootleg on YouTube because we didn't have no cables in the dorm. We didn't have no cable in the dorms. But I remember watching Brock TV from then because Brock TV's been on for 10 years, guys. He's been doing this for 10 years at this point. 10 years Brock TV's been doing this. So keep that in mind. He's been doing this for a minute. So, you know, so it's always cool when I get to just have moments like this. And I've even thought about doing a live stream because I've seen Albert do it. I'm like, damn, that's like so cool, like to interact. I've done one before the, you know, the channel got shut down. I had to make a new channel, whatever, you know. But I've done a live stream before. And most times I haven't done it just because of the time and availability, guys. So I just appreciate you guys rocking with me, my reviews. What is your guys' take? I know you guys are telling me I'm crazy about Johnny Ava. Just tell me in the comments below. I'm gonna comment back. We're gonna laugh together about it. I know y'all think I'm crazy for like a Johnny Ava, but hey, that's a hot couple right there. I was like, woo, what's up, though? That's a hot couple, you know, because obviously Kirsten, guy who plays Johnny, he's on fire, and Tamara Bond, she got something about her too. I'm like, okay, what's up? Like, it's just like, you know, what's going on? You know, what's going on? So, you know, what's going on? So, anyways, guys, I got a feeling Steve Burton might even be in Days Going to Peacock. He might be part of that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. Anyways, guys, that's my Days Your Lives review. It's a homegoing for days, guys. So I'm out, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. See ya.